box with no fragile sign, a jagged little mess that I claimed was mine. I try to glue the edges, try to hide the cracks, but some things don't fit when they're under attack. You handed me a heart that was already bruised, and I was just a fool who was happy to be used. I thought the sharp parts would smooth out with time, that love in a ruin wasn't a crime. But the splinters are deep and the blood is so cold. I'm holding on to something that's already old. It didn't shatter in my hands, it was born in the debris. A beautiful disaster that was gifted to me. No shining armor, no white light above, just the rusted out engine of a dying love. I try to fix the rhythm, try to stop the smoke, but how do you breathe when the oxygen's broke? I should have seen the damage, I should have known. The love came broken before it was grown. We're building a house with crooked cut wood, trying to make damage look misunderstood. Every kiss has a taste of the salt and the rust, and the forever we promised is turning to dust. You can't start a fire with a damn dying wick. The silence between us is getting too thick. Faulty wiring, constant tiring, the ghost of a spark that we're still desiring. It's a puzzle with pieces that never quite match. A beautiful door with a broken off latch. It didn't shatter in my hands, it was born in the debris. A beautiful disaster that was gifted to me. No shining armor, no white light above, just the rusted out engine of a dying love. I try to fix the rhythm, try to stop the smoke, but how do you breathe when the oxygen's broke? I should have seen the damage, I should have known. The love came broken before it was grown. Tangled and torn, dead before born. Just a handful of shards in the light of the love came broken. Love came broken. It started in the floorboards, a quiet little hum, the sound of a disaster that I didn't see come. I was holding my breath, trying to stay perfectly still, but the foundation is moving against my own will. Your goodbye was the epicenter deep in the dark, and now I'm just a shadow of a dying spark. The glass on the shelf is beginning to dance, a slow motion panic, a hollowed out trance. I'm losing my footing, I'm losing the grip, watching the world and the horizon start to dip. It's not just a shiver, it's a break in the crust, turning the always into pillars of dust. Deep in the marrow, deep in the bone, the weight of the silence is making a moan. I'm a skyscraper swaying in a wind no one sees, falling to pieces and down to my knees. The surface is steady, but the truth is a stake. God, can you feel how my soul quakes? I tried to build a levee, I tried to build a wall, but the tectonic pressure is making me small. Every memory of you is an aftershock now, a jagged little ripple that I don't quite allow. I'm a map being torn by a hand I can't see, between the ghost of the earth and the wreckage of me. A rattle in the ribcage, a turning of the page, the physical sound of a heart in a cage. I'm not breaking apart, I'm dissolving in waves from the tectonic weight that nobody saves. It's not just a shiver, it's a break in the crust, turning the always into pillars of dust. Deep in the marrow, deep in the bone, the weight of the silence is making a moan. I'm a skyscraper swaying in a wind no one sees, falling to pieces and down to my knees. The surface is steady, but the truth is at stakes. God, can you feel how my soul quakes? Still shaking, still breaking. The ground is the only thing that's taking my soul quakes. I'm standing in the kitchen, but the oxygen is gone, chasing the tail of a midnight that's lasted too long. I try to pull a breath, but the room is vacuum sealed. Since you took the light from every field we used to heal, the furniture is staring like it's waiting for a sound, but the gravity is heavy, pinning me to the ground. My chest is a hallway where the lights have all flickered out. I'm screaming in a language that I can't even shout. The pressure's rising high, like the deep end of the sea, where I'm looking for the us, but I only find the me. How am I supposed to beat in a world without wind, when the windows are locked and the walls are closing in? You were the rhythm, the pulse and the flare. Now I'm just a heart without air, struggling for a spark in the cold and the blue, suffocating on the ghost of the memory of you. Yeah, it's a silent, hollow prayer from a heart without air. I opened up your letters just to feel a little draft, but the paper's just a desert and the ink is just a craft. I'm a diver with no tether, sinking further from the sun, realizing that the breathing was the first thing you undone. I'm gasping for a reason, I'm reaching for a sigh. but they don't bring the rain. My ribs are a cage for a bird that can't fly. God, it's getting so hard just to try, just to try. How am I supposed to be in a world without wind when the windows are locked and the walls are closing in? You were the rhythm, the pulse and the flare. Now I'm just a heart without air, struggling for a spark in the cold and the blue, suffocating on the ghost of the memory of you. Yeah, it's a silent, hollow prayer from a heart that says, just a ghost in the room, just a lung full of gloom. I'm still reaching, but there's nothing there. Heart without air. Shall we explore some vocal processing plugins like isotope focusing to sound toy or sound toys, little altar boy to get that perfect whispered haunting vocal texture. The hallway's leaning at a strange degree, or maybe it's just the gravity of you and me. I reach for the door frame, but it's made of mist, just another ghost that I haven't quite kissed. My feet are forgetting the feel of the floor ever since your shadow walked out of the door. The horizon is shaking, the stars are unpinned. I'm a kite with a string that's been cut by the wind. I'm trying to find where the center is kept in the hollowed out bed where the memories slept. Left is right and the ceiling is down. I'm a king with a heavy and a hollowed out crown. The world is a tilt-a-whirl spinning too fast, trying to outrun the weight of the past. I'm stumbling through shadows, I'm falling through blue because I anchor my soul to the version of you. The ground is a rumor that can't be found. God, I'm losing balance on this empty ground. I saw your reflection in a puddle of rain and felt the familiar lopsided pain. One side of me is heavy, the other is air. A lopsided heart in a state of repair. I'm walking a tightrope that's frayed at the end, waiting for the break that I know I can't mend. Dizzy and hollow, hard to follow. A bitter little pill that I'm trying to swallow. The walls are closing in while the floor falls away. I'm losing my grip on the light of the day. cold sheet, tracing the space where your shoulder used to rest. The air is thin, it's heavy in my chest. I'm watching the headlights crawl across the wall, waiting for a ghost, waiting for a call that never comes. I try to fill the rooms with noise, but the static only hides what I've lost. Counting every second, paying every cost. The mirror is a stranger with my eyes, just a hollow shell in a clever disguise. I'm fading out, 'cause I'm empty inside, like a house where the power went out in the storm. I'm shivering here, trying to keep myself warm. You took the heartbeat, you took the light. Now I'm just a shadow navigating the night. There's a hole in the center where the earth used to hide. God, I'm so empty inside. I found your ring in the kitchen drawer. It didn't feel like gold, it felt like a scar. Funny how we're here and you're so far. I whispered your name to the ceiling fan, trying to remember the girl that I am, but she's gone too. It's not the crying, it's the nothingness, the quiet weight of the something less. I'm a vessel for the wind, I'm where the echoes begin. I'm paper thin, 'cause I'm empty inside, like a house where the power went out in the storm. I'm shivering here, trying to keep myself warm. You took the heartbeat, took the light. Now I'm just a shadow navigating the night. There's a hole in the center where the earth used to hide. God, I'm so empty inside. God, I'm so empty inside. Just hollow echoes in the hallway, empty inside. The lamp is off, but the room is still glowing red from the embers of everything we ever said. I'm tracing the patterns of the cracks in the ceiling, trying to numb the sharp edge of the feeling. My skin is a parchment, yellowed and thin. I'm feeling the ink of the past sinking in. Every salt streak is a line on a map, leading me back to the teeth of the trap. I close my eyes just to see where it ends, but the road only breaks and the light only bends. Down the curve of my cheek, through the hollows of sleep, the ghosts of our always are beginning to creep. I don't need a photo, I don't need a sign to see the wreckage you left in the lines. One for the laughter, one for the light, one for the way that you didn't say goodbye. The silence is heavy, the night is a summary, and my tears trace memory. And my tears trace memory. I touch the cold side of the Down the curve of my cheek, through the hollows of sleep, the ghosts of our always are beginning to creep. I don't need a photo, I don't need a sign to see the wreckage you left in the lines. One for the laughter, one for the lie, one for the way that you didn't say goodbye. The silence is heavy, the night is a summary, and my tears trace memory. Tears trace memory. Tears trace memory. I'm standing in a place where the roof used to be, watching the stars rain down on a ghost of me. The walls are just memories, thin as a veil, leaning into the weight of a love that turned pale. I used to find safety in the curve of your chest, but the storms rolled inside and it won't let me rest. There's no insulation for a heart that's been struck. The foundation is cracked and the anchor has slipped. Looking for cover, I'm looking for home, but I'm just a shadow in a world made of calm. The windows are shattered, the fire is out, and I'm losing the strength just to whisper or shout. I'm out in the open, I'm raw and I'm blue, with no sanctuary left in the vision of you. The rain's in my blood and the frost in my hair. All that my love lost shelter, I'm gasping for air. It's a wide open wound under a moonless glare. Love lost shelter. I tried to wrap myself in a blanket too thin, but they're moth-eaten rides and then never again. Every corner I turn is a sky without light, a permanent winter in the middle of the night. The protection is gone, the defense has been placed. I'm a wreck on the shore that the ocean has reached. Exposed to the truth, exposed to the youth of a promise we made that was jagged and uncouth. There's no basement deep enough, no mountain too high from the cold of your silent goodbye. The windows are shattered, the fire is out, and I'm losing the strength just to whisper or shout. I'm out in the open, I'm raw and I'm blue, with no sanctuary The clock on the wall, there's nothing left to say. It gave up on time when you drifted away. I'm sitting in a silence so thick it has a weight, a physical presence, a permanent state. My voice is a ghost that I've learned to outrun, leaving the words for the damage you've done. I could scream till the windows rattle and break, but it wouldn't undo a single mistake. So I let the quiet settle deep in my skin, opening the door to let the emptiness in. No more I'm sorry, no more please stay. The sound of the ending has taken the day. But look at my face in the pale candlelight. There's a story being written in the dead of the night, tracing the path where the us used to be. A liquid confession for the world to see. The void is a canvas, and the truth is a violence. See how my tears mark silence. See how my tears mark silence. They're staining the dust on the photos we kept, finding the places where the memories slept. The braille of the broken, etched in the soul, the final recording of every last fault. You won't hear me calling, you won't hear a sound, just the drip of the grief as it hits the ground. Punctuation in the dark, the ending of the spark, leaving a cold and a permanent mark. It's a language of water, it's a language of stone, the only way I know how to be truly alone. No more I'm sorry, no more please stay. The sound of the ending has taken the day. But look at my face in the pale candlelight. There's a story being written in the dead of the night, tracing the path where the us used to be. A liquid confession for the world to see. The void is a canvas, and the truth is a violence. See how my tears mark silence. See how my tears mark silence. Ink on the cheek for the words I won't speak, just the salt and the quiet. Tears mark silence. I'm walking through the rooms of a life we designed, but the locks have been changed in the back of my mind. Every hallway is longer, every ceiling is high, and there's nowhere to hide from the us that won't die. I try to find shelter in the scent of your skin, but the walls have dissolved and the wind has moved in. I'm astray in the rain, looking for a porch light in a city that's forgotten how to put up a fight. There's no roof for the hollow, no code for the cold, just a story of leaving that's already been told. Open to the thunder, shivering in bed, try to build a sanctuary The silence has a way of destroying my poise. There's no basement deep enough to drown out the sound of the memory of you still shaking the ground. I'm a glass house standing in a valley of stones, feeling the tectonic shivers deep in my bones. No sanctuary, no cemetery, just the weight of the things that I still have to carry. I'm looking for a ceiling, I'm looking for a floor, but I'm just a shadow standing outside your door. Open to the thunder, shivering in bed, trying to build a sanctuary out of thin air. The storms in my mirror, the frost in my view, and I've got no place to go that doesn't lead back to you. Safe is a feeling I can't quite recover now that I'm nothing but a ghost of a lover. Yeah, the world is a desert and the sky's a coaster. I'm just a heart without refuge. I'm just a heart without refuge. Exposed to the dark, no home for the spark, just the rain on the window, leaving its mark. Heart without refuge. Heart without refuge. I'm looking at your name written on a piece of mail, but the letters are just shapes, ghost-like and pale. I say I love you to the corners of the room, but the words are just vibrations in the vacuum and no clue. The dictionary's open, but the pages are all blank. The ship we built together just quietly sink. Always was a promise, now it's just a sound, like a dry leaf scraping on the frozen ground. I'm searching for the logic, I'm searching for the light, but the vocabulary's dying in the middle of the night. Why is a circle, but how is a wall? And the us doesn't mean anything at all. I'm staring at the wreckage, I'm staring at the debris, trying to translate what you used to be to me. A sentence with no ending, a song without a key, a hollowed out version of a ghost never read. The definition's gone, the fire has been screamed. I'm standing in the place where love lost meaning. I tried to find the reason in the way you used to laugh, but the photograph was nothing but a glossy second half. The Forever that we whispered is a cold and empty shell. A story with no moral that I've learned to tell too well. I'm a translator working in a language no one speaks, watching the colors drain out of your cheeks. Just a noise, just a poise, just a collection of broken down toys. It's not a tragedy, it's not even a play. It's just the sound of the heart as it's wasting away. It's a circle that always walks, and the us doesn't mean anything at all. I'm staring at the wreckage, I'm staring at the debris, trying to translate what you used to be to me. A sentence with no ending, a song without a key, a hollowed out version of a ghost memory. The definition's gone, the fire has been screamed. I'm standing in the place where love lost meaning. No context left of love bereft. The dictionary's empty, the silence is deaf of lost meaning. I'm trying to sit up, but the air is made of lead, and the ghost of your forever is a stone inside my head. I watched a single drop hit the collar of my coat and felt the anchors dropping in the harbor of my throat. They say it's just water, just a trick of the eye, but they don't feel the gravity every time I cry. It's not just a sting, it's not just a blur, it's the crushing weight of the them and the her. My shoulders are bowing, my spirit is thin, feeling the almost silly pressure of what might have been. Because they don't just fall, they sink like a stone, adding to the burden of being alone. Every trail on my skin is a heavy iron chain, the solid geometry of a liquid pain. You left me with nothing but the clothes I was wearing, and a heart without air that is tired of carrying. The salt is a mountain, the truth is a fate. Can you see that these tears leave weight? Can you see that these tears leave weight? I tried to wash the memory off of the floor, but the more that I cried, the more there is more. The pillow is a boulder, the sheets are a flood, the sediment of us is settling in my blood. I'm walking like a diver on the floor of the sea, carrying the wreckage of what you did to me. Counts of regret, gallons of dead, the heaviest things that I haven't said yet. I'm a glass house collapsing under its own ceiling, suffocating under the mass of the feeling. Because they don't just fall, they sink like a stone, adding to the burden of being alone. Every trail on my skin is a heavy iron chain, the solid geometry of a liquid pain. You left me with nothing but the clothes I was wearing, and a heart without air that is tired of carrying. The salt is a mountain, the truth is Tears leave weight. The air is thicker than it was yesterday. There used to be so many words you could say. I'm listening to the white noise of the fridge, humming low. It's the loudest sound in a room you used to glow. I'm walking on cotton, holding my breath, dancing with the heavy silence of death. I'm screaming your name in a soundproof glass box, prying open doors that you sealed with paradox. You built a wall with the void in the air and left me standing there. It wasn't a fight, it wasn't a shout, it was just the quiet way you faded out. The volume turned down on the rest of my life, a blunt heavy edge of a rusted knife. The traffic still moves, the world's still humming, but my heart without air is done with the coming. I don't hear a whisper, I don't hear a sound. You turn silent and you burn the ground. I'm waiting for static, waiting for a buzz, for a sign of the man that you used to was. They say that the silence is golden and true, but they never lived in a world without you. It's a different kind of ending, a different kind of pain, a permanent shadow where there used to be rain. If I break a dish, will you hear the crash? If I light a fire, will you feel the ash? Give me an argument, give me a scream, just don't make me live in this silent, hollow dream. It wasn't a fight, it wasn't a shout, it was just the quiet way you faded out. The volume turned down on the rest of my life, a blunt heavy edge of a rusted knife. The traffic still moves, the world's still humming, but my heart without air is done with the coming. I don't hear a whisper, I don't hear a sound. You turn silent and you burn the ground. Just the breathing, just the grieving, the quietest goodbye I've ever known. You turn silent. The phone is a fossil on my bedside table to speak how I feel. I'm just not able. The air in my lungs is a secret I'm keeping, while the rest of the world is oblivious, sleeping. I've got 1,000 I miss yous locked in my throat. but I'm letting them sink like a paper boat. If I speak, then the ending becomes something real, and I'm not ready to break the seal. So I'm building a wall out of things left unsaid, a quiet cathedral inside of my head. I'm not reaching out, I'm not making a sound. I'm watching my words turn to ash on the ground. Everywhere are you now? There's a weight in my chest, a bird in a cage that's forgotten to rest. You can have the noise and the light and the gold. I'll stay in the dark where the stories go old. It's a heavy silence, a quiet kind of guidance. Tonight I'm holding silence. My tongue is a soldier who's laid down his arms, ignoring the sirens and all the alarms. I saw your name light up the screen like a spark, but I let it go cold when we turned to the dark. There's a power in the nothing, a ghost in the hush, a way to survive the internal rush. It's a scream in a vacuum, a flower in a tomb, the quietest part of this hollowed out room. I'm gripping the quiet until my knuckles turn white. The only thing keeping me steady tonight. I'm not reaching out, I'm not making a sound. Come watching my words turn to ash on the ground. Everywhere are you now? There's a weight in my chest, a bird in a cage that's forgotten to rest. You can have the noise and the light and the gold. I'll stay in the dark where the stories grow old. It's a heavy silence, a quiet kind of guidance. Tonight I'm holding silence. Don't ask me to speak, don't tell me I'm weak. The truth is the river that's starting to leak. I'm holding silence. I'm reaching for the edge of the bed in the dark, but the mattress is a desert, cold and stark. I thought I was standing on something like stone, but the mirror was turning the dust in my bone. Every step that I take feels like treading on glass, watching the shadows of us as they pass. The map on the wall is a geometry of life, showing me places I no longer recognize. I'm losing my footing, I'm losing the grip, watching the horizon start to stagger and dip. The anchor is dragging, the cables have snapped in a landscape of maybe where I'm suddenly trapped. I'm looking for solid, I'm looking for deep, but the promises we made were too heavy to keep. The world is still spinning, but I've been unbound. I'm watching my heart lose ground just to slip in a shadow. there's nothing to catch me, there's nothing to hold. Just a story that's crumbling before it is told. The anchor is dragging, the cables have snapped in a landscape of maybe where I'm suddenly trapped. I'm looking for solid, I'm looking for deep, but the promises we made were too heavy to keep. The world is still spinning, but I've been unbound by watching my heart lose ground, just a slip in a shadow, no longer profound. My heart lost ground. No place to stand, no helping hand, just the shifting of the internal sand. Heart lost ground. I'm pulling at a loose thread on the edge of the sheet, where your side of the bed is a cold, quiet retreat. It started as a pinhole, a tiny little tear, but now the wind is whistling through the us that isn't there. I'm unraveling in stages, one shadow at a time, trying to find a rhythm in a life that doesn't rhyme. The edges are jagged, the fabric is thin. I can't tell where the world ends and I begin. I'm a sweater on a nail, caught in the breeze, coming apart at the elbows and the knees. It's not a clean break, it's a slow, steady drift, a tectonic plate with a permanent shift. I'm shedding my layers, I'm losing the grain, dissolving in the middle of a saltwater rain. The seams are bursting, the colors are gray, watching the best of me just fade. The center is hollow, the silence is raised. God, I can feel it, my heart prays. I try to stitch the pieces with the memories we kept, but the needle is rusted and the vision is inept. Every I love you was a stitch that didn't hold. Now the story is frayed and the edges are cold. I'm a map that's been folded too many times, tearing at the creases of our ancient crimes. Minds unwinding, unbinding. There's no century left for the finding. I'm a rope made of sand, was hanging by his head. It said, my heart frays. I'm fumbling for the switch on the side of the wall, but the darkness is a forest and I'm feeling so small. The sun is just a memory of a fire that went out, leaving me with shadows and a permanent doubt. I'm checking my pulse, but the rhythm is blue, like a candle that flickered and died with you. The windows are painted with the color of the night, and the stars are just pinpricks of a distant cold spite. I'm breathing in the obsidian, I'm swallowing the gray, waiting for a dawn that is a lifetime away. There's no spark in the chamber, no glow in the vein, just the matte black finish of a quieted pain. I'm a moon without a sun, just a rock in the sky, reflecting the nothing of your silent goodbye. I've forgotten the color of a hello or a stay, now that the spectrum has all bled away. It's a hollowed out cavern, a permanent night. I'm just a heart lacking light. I try to light a match with the things that we said, but the wood is all damp and the phosphorus is dead. I'm navigating rooms by the feel of the dust, in a house made of silence and a heart made of rust. Every I love you was a bulb that got smashed, leaving me in the wreckage where the forever crashed its back. No track, no way to find the road leading back. I'm a lighthouse with a broken and a shattered lens, watching where the world and the emptiness blend. There's no spark in the chamber, no glow in the vein, just the matte black finish of a quieted pain. I'm a moon without a sun, just a rock in the sky, reflecting the nothing of your silent goodbye. I've forgotten the color of a hello or a stay, now that the spectrum has all bled away. It's a hollowed out cavern, a permanent night. I'm just a heart lacking light. Total eclipse on my fingertips, the taste of the dark is on my lips. Heart lacking wasn't a crash, it wasn't a visible break, just a quiet vibration, a slow motion quake. I was holding my coffee, watching the light hit the wall, when I felt the foundation begin to shudder and fall. It started in my ankles, then it climbed to my chest, a tectonic shift where our love used used to rest. The glass on the table didn't even move, but I'm falling out of the life and the groove. No one can see that the ground isn't still. I'm losing my balance, I'm losing my will. And oh, my soul trembled like a leaf in the storm, trying to remember how it felt to be warm. A jagged little ripple through the center of me, tearing the roots from the floor of the sea. You walked out the door and you didn't make a sound, but you left a falling running deep in my ground. Yeah, the earth stays steady, but the truth is unadorned. Under the surface, my soul tremors. My soul tremors. I tried to hold steady, I tried to be strong, but the marrow was shaking inside of my bone. Every hello I hear has a ghost of your tone, and the frequency breaks me whenever I'm alone. I'm a skyscraper swaying in a wind no one feels, watching the ceiling as the world slowly peels. It's the aftershock, it's the ticking clock, it's the sound of the key turning slow in the lock. I'm not breaking apart, I'm dissolving in waves from the weight of the silence that nobody says. And oh, my soul trembled like a leaf in the storm, trying to remember how it felt to be warm. A jagged little ripple through the center of me, tearing the roots from the floor of the sea. You walked out the door and you didn't make a sound, but you left a falling running deep in my ground. Yeah, the earth stays steady, but the truth is unadorned. Under the surface, my soul tremors. Still shaking, still aching. The silence is the only thing that's making us sad. My soul tremors. My soul tremors. The lamp is flickering, losing its fight with the dark, and the fireplace is nothing but a cold gray spark. I've stopped trying to call you, stopped trying to explain, because the words just get tangled and dissolved in the rain. I'm sitting in the corner where the shadows are thick, listening to the pulse of the clock's heavy tick. My tongue is a statue frozen in time, keeping the wreckage tucked safely inside. But there's a leak in the levee, a break in the seal, and the silence is starting to feel way too real. I don't have to say it, I don't have to mourn, because tonight our tears stay the floor. I'm on a log behind the door. I'm saying everything I couldn't say before. They're louder than a scream, clearer than a doubt. The only honest stories I've left to tell. I don't have to say, I don't have to know, because tonight my tears speak alone. You whisper in the secrets I was too proud to tell, tracing the marks of this private metal heart. No one is listening, no one is home. Just the salt and the sorrow, and the tears speak alone. Listen to the quiet, listen to her flirt. It's the only language left in my blood. Tears speak alone. Is it Tuesday morning or Sunday night? The shadows are long and the sun is too bright. I'm staring at the calendar, but the numbers are ghosts, just markers of the then that I miss the most. The coffee is frozen, the kettle is cold. I'm living in a story that's already been told. The minutes are melting, the hours are ink. I'm standing on a ledge and I'm trying not to blink, but the air is a liquid, the walls are a smear, and now is the only thing I can't feel or hear. The edges are bleeding, the colors are running. I didn't see the end of the world coming. Yesterday is tomorrow and today is a lie. A watercolor wash under a bruised purple sky. The salt in my vision is making a crime of the way that my tears blur time. I'm lost in the middle of a rhythm and rhyme, where my tears blur time. Where my tears blur time. I saw you at the door, but you left a year ago. Memory is a movie that's playing too slow. I reach for the handle, but my hand passes through the vapor and the shadow of the version of you. I'm counting the seconds, but the math is all wrong. How can a heartbeat feel this long? That's forgotten to chime. Everything is happening at the very same time. The edges are bleeding, the colors are running. I didn't see the end of the world coming. Yesterday is tomorrow and today is a lie. A watercolor wash under a bruised purple sky. The salt in my vision is making a crime of the way that my tears blur time. I'm lost in the middle of a rhythm and rhyme, where my tears blur time. Where my tears blur time. Was it just a Was it half a life? The silence is a dull and a rusted night. Tears blur time. Should we look for granular synthesis tools like output portal to create those blurred and smeared night mood textures? The floorboards ache under the weight of the quiet. I'm breathing in the dust of a dying riot. I haven't moved the glass you left by the bed. It's half full of water and words we never said. A blade cutting through the blinds, chasing the ghosts that I'm trying to unbind. Every clock in this house is a liar, counting down the ash of a finished fire. My throat is a desert, my heart is a stone. I'm learning the rhythm of being alone. So I'll let the soul track a path down my face, a map of the wreckage in this empty space. Don't look too close, don't ask why I cry. There's a whole other world behind the blurred eye. You see the ruin, but I see the gates where every I love you still sits and waits. Turn out the light, let the shadows be free. These tears hold the secrets of you and me. I saw your coat in the back of the hall, like a soldier who's waiting for a bugle call. I almost reached out, I almost said stay, but the ghost of your goodbye got in the way. Now the silence is screaming, it's louder than sound. I'm a bird in a cage that is buried underground. Is it a secret if no one is listening? Is it a wound if the surface is glistening? I'm drowning in the shallows, I'm burning in snow, holding on to the ghost of a girl you used to know. Gates where every I love you still sits and waits. Turn out the light, let the shadows be free. These tears hold the secrets of you and me. The truth is a shiver, the truth is a